Hello and welcome to this very exciting and time-sensitive conference call here today. Over the next 15 minutes, you are going to be learning about a company that is transforming or disrupting two massive industries. And if you ever wanted to be in the right place at the right time, to be able to capitalize financially on such timing, you are going to feel in the next 15 minutes that this is where you sit right now. My name is Brian Carruthers. Prior to working on this project, I had a very successful background in my real estate career. But although I was making an incredible amount of income, I was working 60 plus hours a week, and I had absolutely no time freedom. Can you relate? Do you feel like you're grinding it out, working constantly without having the time freedom for your family and for your friends and other things you'd rather be doing? Well, this project, what I'm going to share with you right now, has allowed me to be able to retire from that real estate career and be able to work 100% for myself from home. What does that mean? I've got a 10-year-old son, and he has no idea what it would be like to have a parent working outside of the home. I've been a stay-at-home dad his entire life. I could not be that kind of a dad if I had a traditional business or if I had a job where I had to work so many hours away from home. So I promise you, there is a lot in it for you for what I'm about to share with you. Now, let me start off by reminding you over the last 10 years, some of the transformations or the disruptions in some existing industries that have occurred that you probably, like I, were not invited to participate financially in. Now, when it comes to getting a ride somewhere, it used to be call a taxi, but now Uber, an app on your phone, allows you to get a quicker ride and a less expensive ride. And it's dominating that industry or that space now. Same thing happened with Instagram, which now people use for photographs instead of Kodak or Polaroid. Dominated those industries, transformed them. On top of that, Amazon. It used to be if you wanted to shop for something, you had to go to Walmart, Costco, Best Buy, the grocery store, the mall. Now people just go right online, and Amazon has become the ultimate retailing machine, and they don't even own stores. Another example, Blockbuster. When you wanted to rent a movie to watch at home, you had to go to the Blockbuster store, hope that the movie is not already taken. If you find the one you want, you rent it, you take it home, you watch it, and you have to rush it back the next day so you can avoid late fees. But now what happened? Netflix comes along and transforms the entire industry, and now you can have unlimited streaming 24/7 on demand on any device. Now, Blockbuster does not even exist anymore. Existing multi-billion-dollar company, gone. Why? Because a faster, more convenient, and cheaper way came along. That is what our company is doing right now. We've got two major industries. The identity theft epidemic that's sweeping the world right now, we have the only viable solution for that, and I'm sure you would agree that if you found a cure for a disease, not only would you make a lot of money and help a lot of people and become famous, but the same kind of a scenario when you've got a crime like identity theft that's hurting so many, and you can bring to the market a real solution to it, you can make a lot of money and you can be very well known and help a lot of people. But secondly, and I'm going to start off here first, the legal system in America, people say, oh, the legal system's broken. It's not broken. It works great for anybody who can afford access to it. Unfortunately, attorneys who charge $200, $300, $400, $500 an hour or more because of the cost, it's not that we don't have needs to call attorneys. We just don't want to pay the price to call. So what LegalShield does for a tiny little monthly fee, we actually are able to provide a membership to these legal services right there in the palm of your hand. So, where is the most valuable real estate in the world? It's not New York City. It's not Dubai. It's the home screen on your smartphone. And if you can get an app on that home screen, not buried down amongst the 300 apps that somebody has, if you can get right on their home screen, and that could be a toll booth for you to be able to profit, does that excite you? Well, we now have a LegalShield app. That icon goes right on their home screen. And with the touch of an app, you just tap the app and you'll have access to call your law firm and get attorneys to answer your questions for you, whether it be about real estate, divorce, bankruptcy, child custody, landlord-tenant issues, any questions, unlimited access. that will empower you in your life to help you make better decisions and help you get ahead. They'll even write letters or make phone calls on your behalf. And I'm sure you would agree that a letter on your law firm's letterhead will be so much more effective than you or I trying to argue our situation with someone that we're disputing. I had a dry cleaner ruin a $48 shirt of mine, refused to pay for a new one, even though they admitted they did the damage. I called my law firm with LegalShield. The attorney wrote a letter to the dry cleaner, and a week later, I had the $48 check to buy me a new shirt. I was never getting there on my own, but the attorney's letter got me results. I had an iPhone with Sprint, and after Hurricane Sandy came through Maryland, my signal got real bad and was dropping calls all day. So after a month of waiting for them to fix a tower, and they never fixed it, I had to switch to Verizon to get better signal. When I did that, Sprint charged me $283 because I had 14 months left on my iPhone contract, and they charged me that early termination fee. I didn't think that was fair. I'm sure you probably wouldn't either, right? Well, I called LegalShield. They wrote a letter to Sprint's legal department of Virginia. I got a phone call a week later from someone in their executive office telling me that they received my attorney's letter. They apologized profusely, telling me I should have been treated way better, thanking me for being a customer for all those years. And within 5 minutes, I hung up the phone with my $283 back on my credit card. That's called legal muscle that we get to flex now because of LegalShield that we never had the ability. Who's going to call an attorney for $300 an hour for a $48 issue, for a $283 issue? So for people who say, well, I don't never need attorneys. Well, it's not you don't ever need attorneys. You don't use them because the need's always there. On top of that, they'll even review contracts and documents before you sign your name to them. If you get sued, they'll represent you for a civil lawsuit defense. Even go to court for you. If you get an IRS audit, they'll handle the audit for you. Certain hours for the attorneys to help you with these things are provided at no charge for covered trial defense and tax audit matters. Any additional hours would be covered under your preferred member discount. On top of that, if you get a speeding ticket, look, auto insurance, would you not agree that auto insurance is already way too high and we don't want it to go up any higher because we got a speeding ticket and the points caused the insurance company to raise our rates? Well, what if you could have our law firm help you in fighting that ticket to keep the points off your record so your insurance rates will stay lower? Well, I've had several tickets over the last 18 years that I've been a member of LegalShield. 5 of them, as a matter of fact, where the attorneys went to court, fought my tickets, and won all 5 times and never had a single point hit my record. That means my insurance company thinks I'm a perfect driver. So this is going to save you a fortune for you and for your drivers and your family. Well, here's a big one. Will preparation. 70% of people in this country don't have a last will and testament. 90% don't have an up-to-date will in the last several years. Well, if you die without a will, the state can and will determine who raises your children and who gets your assets. The average cost of getting your will done is over $1,000. That's why people don't have their will. I mean, we all know that's our final love letter to our loved ones. None of us wants to have our household out of order and not have that preparation. You know, when are you planning on dying? Nobody knows. You know, especially if you're healthy, you think you got plenty of years ahead to be able to prepare and get your will done and all that. Well, people are dying every day, and their family not only has to grieve the loss, but now they've got to deal with probate and brothers and sisters fighting. Well, LegalShield is going to make sure that they assign a top attorney to draw your will up for you for free and update it every year for free. That's $1,000 savings right away when you become a member with this LegalShield membership. Anything outside of that, anything from a criminal charge, or maybe you want to go sue someone, they'll guarantee you a 25% discount off the hourly rates that anybody else will be charged if they're not a member of LegalShield. Now, this is my favorite part. Let's pretend you're the attorney. I'm the client walking into your law firm. Spin the table. And I say, I want you to provide all these services for my whole family. I don't want to pay you by the hour. I want to give you 1 check a month for all of it. How much would you charge my family for all this? Most people quote me anywhere from $500 to $5,000 a month. At a couple $100 an hour, you expect it to be thousands. Well, LegalShield, they don't charge thousands. They don't even charge hundreds. They do everything I share with you for your whole family for literally $20 a month. $19.95 to be exact. When I heard that, I said, that is the best dollar value I've ever heard in my entire life. It was a no-brainer. I signed up on the spot. Now, the second service that we have is called ID Shield. Identity theft, the fastest growing crime in the world. Last year, well over 100 million victims in 1 year. And it's not just somebody stealing your credit card or tapping your bank account. Yes, that's happening to millions of people, but there's even other things that you're probably not even thinking about. For example, somebody can use your medical records, your health insurance, your driver's license information. They could use your information and go out and set up their own persona using yours, commit crimes. Now you're wanted for an arrest for something you don't even know even was happened. Somebody can use your social. You might say, I don't give out my social anymore, so I'm not worried about that. Well, understand, it's too late. You've already given out your social if you've ever had a job, you ever gone to school, you ever bought a home, you ever leased a car, you ever got utilities in your name, or you joined a gym, or 20 years ago you got a Blockbuster card. You've already given it out. So somebody goes and gets your number from any one of those databases. They get a 1099 job. They cash their paychecks all year long, but they don't pay any income tax. And then the IRS comes knocking on your door at the end of the year, says you better pay this tax bill, otherwise they're going to come put a lien on your house. Who are you going to call? That's a problem. Or so they can file a tax return with your name and number, and they get the refund check. They're gone. Then you go file your tax return, and you wait for the refund check. A month later, you get something from the IRS. You're like, hey, I got my money. Guess what? Your money's not in there. There's no check. It says, what are you talking about? We've already paid you. So we've got massive problems that are occurring in people's lives. It takes the thief minutes to steal your identity. It takes the victim months or years to clean up that mess. We have the only viable solution that exists in the entire marketplace called LegalShield. And it's because it's provided by the number one experts in the world in this whole space, Kroll. And Kroll is usually hired by government entities, the U.S. government, the Kuwaiti government, the FBI, the SEC. I mean, when Target had their identity breach a few years ago with 60 plus million customers in that breach, they hired Kroll because they are the best of the best in the world. The only way individuals can get access to the LegalShield product I'm going to share with you right now is through LegalShield. And they came to us several years ago and said, look, when somebody's identity is stolen, 70% of the time they need to come out of pocket and pay a lot of money to hire an attorney. And nobody provides better, more affordable access to great attorneys than you guys at LegalShield, which is why this partnership happened. The LegalShield is going to do everything from monitoring not just your credit report. Yes, they'll do that, but they'll monitor everything about your identity, even all the 70% of stuff that does not even show up on a credit report. On top of that, they will give you access to their consultants and their experts. They're there available for you 24/7. During normal hours and even after hours for an emergency if you have any problem with your identity. But here's the kicker. It's not if, but when your identity is stolen, because it's going to happen to all of us, unfortunately, and many of us many times in the future, they will assign you licensed investigators that will jump in and restore your identity back to pre-theft status, which could be, again, hundreds of hours. And they back it up with a $5 million service guarantee. How much would you expect to pay for access to these experts like that? Most people don't have the tens of thousands of dollars to be able to handle that kind of thing for us, okay, to pay for that. Well, the LegalShield for an individual is only $9.95 a month, $10 a month. And if you got a spouse and up to 8 kids, a family of up to 10, it's only $19.95 a month, not even $20. Now that you understand how these services work and how little it costs to have access to them, about $1 a day, about the price of a bottle of water a day, you now probably understand why we're signing up 40, 50, 60, and last month, 70,000 new members signing up for these services. The only reason why you or anybody else does not have these services yet, because you've never actually heard this presentation to know that they even exist and what they do. Now that you do, I'm sure you're going to get back with a person who invited you to hear this information and sign up for it right away. By the way, the services are month to month, so you don't have to make any kind of a long-term decision. You're going to keep it because you want to keep it, because it's helping save you a lot of money and empower your life. Now, let me share with you the second thing today, which is how can you profit from this? Now that you're thinking, wow, this is amazing. I want to be a customer of this company. I want to use this service. I want these apps on my phone. Well, how about you helping us to spread the word? I mean, how did Facebook grow to over 1 billion people with a Facebook account, right? How do so many people, well, Netflix, why are so many people shopping on Amazon? Because friends are telling friends about these incredible game changers and people are signing up for these different platforms and these apps. Same thing. You help us spread the word. Tell people about LegalShield. They go to a website we set up for you. They learn about it. They sign up. Boom, you get paid. Now, every time, every person that's got this app on their phone, and anytime, whether they're using it or not, they're paying for it each month, guess what? You're getting paid. Let me share with you how this works. For each person that says, let's say you're signing somebody up for the family legal plan and the family LegalShield. which is $19.95 a piece, $39.90 for the two. And by the way, if they're an individual, it's even cheaper than that, and you get paid proportionally. So on that $39 sale, the company's going to pay you a minimum $60 commission. And by the way, we get paid daily. You get paid literally the day after, right? So you sign somebody up for $39, you get paid $60, and that's the minimum. But let's say in the next 20 days, you go out and sign up your first 3 customers, and let's say one of them says, hey, I want to become an associate like you. Well, what happens is you got paid $60, $60, and $60 for this first 3 people signing up. That's $180 right there. And on top of that, they're going to give you a bonus for doing that so quickly. They're going to give you another $180 bonus. So in effect, you got $120 for each of those first 3 people that signed up. And from that point forward, you're getting a minimum $120 commission from that point forward for every new customer that you refer. A $39 sale, you're making $120 a pop. Then as you sign more people up, then it goes to $140, then they raise it to $160, $190, $230, up to $280 is what you'll get paid. $60 up to $280 every time you refer a customer. So if you're looking for a way to supplement your income, how many people do you want to refer to our services? How many people do you want to tell them to go get this app on their phone? I mean, you want to do 1 a month, 1 a week, 1 a day? I mean, if people that are looking for a second job should not be looking for a second job. You know, Jim Rohn, one of my favorite authors and business coaches of all time, he said you work hard all day at your job to earn a living, but you should be working spare time, nights or weekends, building your fortune. Well, with LegalShield, you get started up in our business and you own your own LegalShield business within our company. You go out and market these memberships, build up your own customer base. You get paid a huge commission for each person that you're signing up. But secondly, you can also treat it like a business, meaning you can have leveraged income. You got linear income when you're signing people up. Leveraged income means that you're getting paid when others are signing people up. I mean, just like a real estate agent can sell a house and get paid a nice commission, but wouldn't it be cool to be a real estate broker and have hundreds of agents out there selling houses for you and you get a little piece of the action off each one of their sales? Well, most people can't afford to become a real estate broker. It costs a lot of money. Well, with LegalShield, it doesn't cost you anything. You can bring other people on board. They become a part of your team. Every time they're marketing these services and signing up people and they're getting the app, they're getting the $60 to $280, but the company's going to pay you an additional override into your pocket as well. And that override is going to be anywhere from $20 to $40 to $60, all the way up to $180. So you're getting paid when you're signing up customers. You're getting paid when others are doing that. The third way we get paid is called residual income. And this is what gets me most excited. So you got a huge commission up front when all these people are signing up. But on top of that, a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, you're also getting paid every month for the lifetime of every one of these people on our service. Look, here we are. I'm getting paid 18 years later for people I signed up for these services back in 1998, 99, 2000, 2001, still getting paid to this day, 18 years later, residual income. Now, when I walked away from my real estate career way back then because I started making so much money with my side LegalShield business that I said I don't need real estate anymore, and I just went full time for myself from home. When I stopped selling houses, I stopped getting paid. There's nothing residual about real estate sales. There's probably nothing residual about your job. If you stop going to work tomorrow, they're probably going to stop paying you. But if you build a LegalShield business up, and even if you want to stop doing LegalShield, whatever you did in LegalShield while you were doing it, all those customers are going to pay you residuals for life. How awesome is that? And guess what? We have less than 3% market penetration. That means 97 out of 100 people you and I know, they have no idea that we even exist yet. So timing could not get any better than where we sit. And we are at the tipping point. Any industry, when it hits about 2%, something called critical mass or an explosion takes place, all of a sudden everybody gets that product or service. Happened with fax machines, cell phones, microwaves, smartphones, bottled water, you name the trend. When about 2 out of 100 got it, all of a sudden everybody started to get it. That's the same exact thing what's happening right now with this digital shift with the legal industry, which is a massive industry, one of the biggest industries in the world, and also identity theft. We own these spaces, you guys, and you can own them. You can profit. How do you get started with a membership? Get back with the person who invited you to listen to this. They can give you a website address, 3 minutes, fill out your application, and you're now a customer empowered with these services. Go get your will done. Use the service. You'll love it. How do you get started up as an associate in the company to start your own business with us? It's a one-time registration fee of $99 that gets you everything all set up. Your website is set up and hosted for you. Training, we teach you word for word, step by step, everything you need to do, so you don't have to worry about, hey, how does this work? We'll show you all that. But you pay your one-time registration fee and you're set up in the business. And from there, how big do you want to grow it? How fast or slow? It's up to you. It's your own business for the price of a tank of gas. So I would encourage you, again, get back to the person who invited you on this call. Let them know that you heard it, you're excited, you want to become empowered, you want to be a LegalShield and ID Shield member right away. And look, get registered right now as an associate, because you're probably you will tell people about what you heard. You'll be telling people about this. When you hear about them having a life problem, or their identity was stolen, or they're getting ready to get a separation, or they got a speeding ticket, or they're getting ready to change jobs, they're going to want legal advice or help. You're going to tell people about this. But if you didn't register yourself first, there's no way the company can pay you. And there's no way you can get residuals on that. Everybody you know is going to learn about LegalShield at some point soon, but from someone, it might as well be you. So I am excited that you listened to this information. I look forward to having you be a part of our LegalShield family.